All right, what's up, Money Tree members? I'm here with Daniel McKay, one of our 5 Steps to Millions mentorship mentees, students, whatever we want to call it. But he's also my mate. So I get to interview him now and just want to touch on his success story. So many successes he's had. So Dan, thanks for joining us, man.
No worries, mate. Thanks for having me. Pumped.
You bet.
So
Yeah,
good to be
of
here.
course. Yeah. Super pumped today because tell everyone why you're super pumped today.
Well, today we got paid our first major dividend payment from our share portfolio, which was amazing. So I was
How
just
much?
sharing how pumped I was to wake up this morning. Know it was coming in. It was like
Yeah.
a Frozen movie when she's, wakes up and it's coronation day. I'm like, it's dividend day. It's cool to know that's coming in, right? And yeah, just to see that growth, it's just epic. Like, yeah, never thought I'd be there, to be honest, ever.
So you never thought you'd have an investment that actually paid you cash money in your pocket?
No, it was never on my radar, to be honest. Like when I was growing up, when I was started our business, even just had no concept of it. To be fair, yeah.
There you go. Awesome, man. Well, you've come a long way, and it's only the beginning. Imagine when that dividend check gets to 10,000.
I know, it's crazy. Yeah, I took a screenshot today, so I was going to print it off and just add a couple of zeros. Just
do that.
Yeah, just to give that.
Yeah, but still really good. What are you going to put? What are you going to do with the money?
Reinvest it.
Okay.
Yeah. So reinvest it today, but like the idea is that our goal is to get it to a point where it generates one income, one wage basically, and covers our expenses.
Yep,
so
cool.
that's the goal, right? And like we can see it getting there. Like we've got a plan to get there, and it's just time now. It's like
there you go. I did a post the other day about that. I was on Instagram. You're probably doing already all the things you need to be doing to become a millionaire. You just have to keep doing it for a bit longer. And I just don't know whether people realize that. Once you're on the track, it's just time.
Yeah.
Right? For you just said it. I'm on the track. It's just time now.
Yeah. And just working out different ways to continue to improve on that path, I think. It's so true. Like we don't and I think you have to look in reflection. Like you have to look back at where you've come from and where you are now and just understand what you've been able to achieve. I think like we've definitely been guilty to a certain extent of just feeling like we're not like, especially for me, being a red personality, like just feeling like you're not achieving enough and you're not where you need to be, right? And to look at even like the last 4 years, I mean, where we were 4 years ago to now, is just incredible. Like the transition and the change in our net worth, in our mindset, in our health, in our life. Like it's incredible. Like just wouldn't have picked it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? So with the 5 steps, we talk about, mindset, mentorship, which is being around the right environment and having guidance to walk a proven wealth path. And then we talk about managing money enough to have enough savings. As you make more money, it's important to be able to manage it well, to multiply it. So to put it in place, your own investment that you understand, that you have confidence in, that actually does work. And it's not some gimmicky thing that you have to guess, no sorcery. And obviously too, making money. So having an extra business or an extra side hustle, or even scaling your current business. So mate, what's your experience been like working with me? Because we've been working together for a while, but through the 5 steps, what has been your experience so far?
Yeah, so even in the last, I think it's only a couple of months, if that, I think actually,
A month?
Few weeks, and just the shift in mindset that I've gone through, and it's the ability to network with other people and to see their progression too, and understand how to apply that in your own life and your own business, and like just the different things that can be applied with you through working examples, right? So that's what's great about what we do each week. We catch up, we have a call, and we discuss those things and go through the whatever blocks or challenges or obstacles or wins you've had. And so that's been super powerful because we've been able to workshop things live, and that's awesome. But also just the accountability, like I think you called me out yesterday or the day before on my language, and that's such a powerful thing to have someone there just in your pocket at all times, just like redirecting. So I watched a summary of Atomic Habits, and I started reading that book, and it talked about, like, you know, when a jet takes off in I think it was, anyway, it was in America, and it said like 3 degrees, if they adjusted it by 3 degrees, they end up in Mexico rather than Los Angeles. Or like, and it's just those small, like, course corrections that can really add up, like, if you get them early or if you get them along the way. And so that's what's been super powerful about the mentorship, is just like having that ability to have someone there to correct you at times and just tweak little things, right? Because we're already developed some really good skills, and, you know, sometimes it's just having the confidence to deploy them, and instead just tweak little things along the way to give you the right mindset or the right understanding that you can do things, you can achieve things for yourself and for the goals you've got. And so, you know, that's what's been, you know, really, really powerful about it so far. It's just that small course correction that can make big changes.
Yep. Absolutely. And you talk about mindset, and it's largely mindset, of course. And part of the process of having the mentorship is to be in the right environment that creates great standards, millionaire thinking, millionaire practices, millionaire tools that I know you're now deploying. Like, you tested out one of the tools we spoke about yesterday. Now that's in place, and that has the ability to, you know, create so much money and time for you just in itself. But what I wanted to ask you is to share maybe that little win, the large win that you had from a mindset perspective on our last call, where you didn't really know. It was probably 2 calls ago when I challenged you to go and do one of the exercises in the videos, which is to figure out your net worth. Tell us, walk us through that.
Yeah, super exciting. So I came to that call, you know, with a basic understanding of where we were at, I guess, financially, and also, you know, have already deployed a lot of the, you know, managing our money, and, you know, cutting expenses and doing all those things that are the practical things. But it was just that flip of mindset of, again, feeling like we weren't sort of achieving all that I wanted to achieve, or I wasn't in a place that I should have been in already. And so, yeah, he challenged me to work out our net worth, which I did. And we've got a net worth now of over $1 million, which is incredible. To think that we're millionaires, like, it's just incredible to think.
Even the way you say it, you don't even believe it yet, because you said quietly. Yes. Say it. Tell us you're a millionaire.
We're millionaires. We're millionaires. We're $1 million net worth, which is like, it is scary, right? It is, because it's like this thing that you've set as this high bar, you know, and everyone talks about making $1 million or, you know, becoming a millionaire. And, you know, like, we've been working so hard towards it, like the last, you know, probably 2-3 years, longer than that, 4 years. And even before that, like, we were working towards it, but we had no tools to actually implement it, right? It was like, that was always the goal. And I'm sure everyone can relate. Like, it's, you know, that millionaire mindset, that millionaire goal that you've got. But it's like, yeah, actually unpacking it and saying, right, we're actually already there. It just, like, I've felt differently in the last couple of weeks in the way that I've showed up, right? Like, because I'm already there. Like, I've already achieved that goal that we've had in our head for such a long time. And so, you know, with all the challenges we've gone through the last couple of years, and everyone around the world, you know, has been affected by what's been going on to a certain extent. It's just such an uplifting thing. It just, like, you, like, literally sit taller, you walk taller, like, just stepping into that. That's been what's really changed the last couple of weeks. And it's presented us with a different, it's presented us so much opportunity the last couple of weeks, even just in terms of understanding what we've already achieved, understanding, like, that we've got this really great base, and it's just a base. Like, we're now at this point where it's like, okay, well, we can go forward from here. Like, it's not the end.
So now you've got $1 million foundation in your 30s, which is amazing. And you've got the framework, right? Like, you said before, we're working on bettering, we're improving elements of 5 steps, because when I talk about the 5 steps, they never change. They're always the same. That's what's great about them. Which one am I working on now? Which one's holding me back? Which one can I be better at? And you're never perfect at any 5, but which one is the one that needs work, right? And some of them, they change over time. You need to spend time here and then less time here. But what I love about what you've been able to achieve is you've taken all of them and you've executed on all of them. And, you've had that win about your net worth from managing your money is now $1 million. You've got your investments giving you a dividend as of this morning, which is, earning tax-free income, which is sitting on your ass income that you've earned. You've got your mindset that you work on every day. Even yesterday, we touched on some of those some of the language you use as to how you can correct that. And of course, mentorship, which is being around the right people, like what you said. You learn from their other lessons, and the environment changes you. And of course, making money is to what you can do with your businesses now going forward. And we even spoke about it yesterday with what are the KPIs for the week and how to keep things simple. And so you're really doing all 5 steps, which is so good. And you're getting results, which is the most important thing, I think, which I love.
Yeah.
I love seeing the results. They're almost daily sometimes. It's wonderful, but you're also coachable, which helps.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. It's like, you don't have to step it alone. And I think, like, being a small business owner, being the personality that I am, it was getting out of my own way.
Yeah.
It's as much that as it is anything else. It's working out how to actually get out of my own way enough to achieve the things that we can achieve, right? Like, and just getting around the best people. Like, the people that I hang around with now are completely different to who I hang around with 5 years ago. Like,
there you go.
Completely.
And also, I think what's cool, what I like about it is when you pay, you pay for accountability or attention. And it's like, I love the fact that I can course correct you because you've given me permission. And like, well, I can pick down up on it. Whereas if you haven't got a formal mentorship thing in place, as a friend, it's also like, well, I don't want to coach someone that hasn't asked to be coached. And I think when you come into a mentorship program, you give yourself up and you surrender to someone saying, hey, I think you maybe should look at this or that. And I think that's what accelerates people more than what they even think, is because you got someone there saying, listen, I'm going to love you enough to be able to tell you, hey, I think you should improve here. What are you doing? And it's like questioning things, because that's really where the juice comes from. Otherwise, you're just in your own thoughts with your own tools, and they're limited, obviously. Right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I mean, the worst thing you can do is sit in your own head. Like, it's the worst thing you can do sometimes, because you just get these stories and these patterns and these behaviors that just don't serve you if you aren't in the right, like, going in the right direction. And that's where, like, just those little, like, screenshots, and like, I've sent messages and you've screenshot it and sent it back to me. It's like, and it's not a negative experience. It's like, yeah, you're right. Like, it's just asking those questions. It's just asking, okay, is that serving you? Like, are you going in the right direction with that? And that's, it's unless you understand your own patterning and behavior, unless you become an NLP coach and, like study for years and years and years, like, it's not feasible, right? Like, for most people, for a small business owner like me, it's not feasible for me to go and do that study. Like, it's just, I'd rather pay someone that can call me out on it, that can give me that continual support, and that, just, I said, it's just those small tweaks that can take you in such a different direction. Like,
definitely.
And
well,
permission.
You're going to go.
Half the time it's permission, right? It's just
it's permission.
Like, even yesterday, I had a meeting with another business consultant I use, and it was just, we're actually looking to buy another business now. And so, like, that was never on the radar, like, even a few months ago. But like, half the time it's just getting that permission. It's like, I'm going to do this. Is that okay? That's all you need. It's just that person going, yeah, absolutely. Like,
Yeah. Well, I guess part of the process is that if you don't have millionaires around you with the experience, it's not easy to ask them. Whereas when you have one, you can ask. And that's, how do you find people you trust to know to serve you who can do that with the level of ability? It's very challenging. So that's very true. I've even got a thing on the back of my door. I have a thing. I don't ask permission. And so I have every day I will walk out and it's like, don't ask for permission, do. So I try not to wait to ask someone, is it okay? I have the tools to be able to assess what is okay. But I do have my amazing wife as a sounding board to say, I'm thinking about this. What do you think? To get some feedback, I guess, would be effective from someone who is smart
Yes.
and understands things, not someone who's
Yeah.
just like, nah, yeah, mate, you know what I mean. So let me ask you
Yeah.
this,
And
mate.
that permission is not. Yeah, it's more
Not
so
who it is.
just getting that yeah, you said that support, that right? Like it's just like sounding board for what you're actually
Yeah,
looking to achieve.
yeah.
But yeah, like we've got
Yeah.
so much more confidence in our
Yeah.
decision making now than ever. Like just
You can tell though
yeah.
too how you can tell that. You can tell. Yeah, you've changed a lot. Yeah, in the last few months, really, I'd say it's been awesome, and you're only just on a huge trajectory to massive success. So let me ask you this: what would be your advice to others who are, perhaps they're in the group, they're kind of on the precipice of trying to live a bigger life, a more wealthy life. They want to do all these things, but they don't. Maybe they don't. They don't know what to do next, or they're umming and ahhing about what to do. What would be your advice to them?
Yeah, well, I mean, that was me back a few years ago, like just not understanding what direction I wanted to go in and not getting really clear on what my purpose was. And so I think just having that clarity of like what you're actually like what is driving you, like what are you trying to achieve? It's such an important thing to have that clarity. And then yeah, I mean like it's asking it's coming from a place of understanding where the opportunity costs are rather than the actual costs. And I think
Very good.
that's like the opportunity cost of not doing it, of not having a mentor, I think is like far outweighs the real cost of actually implementing one. Like,
Yeah.
just like it once you realize that, I think that's probably the hardest part is just for people to realize that
Yeah.
like
You're right.
yeah, I mean I'm reading a I think 4 hour work week at the moment actually, which
Yep.
talks about that in the first like it's that fear. It's just that fear of like what's going to happen if I do this. It's not actually the fear of doing it.
Yeah.
Like the mentorship, like you're not like not screaming down the phone at me. Like I'm not fearful of like the actual process of the mentorship. It's the fear of like what will happen if I do this and I don't get value out of it. I think that's the fear that people have, and
Well,
that
what if I
again
do it and it doesn't?
becomes an insular thing that like you is not trusting yourself, and
Yeah.
that comes from not having a clear understanding of where you're trying to go.
Which is probably a problem, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
I think the actual apprehension to do mentorship is also a problem in itself because one of the most critical parts of success. It's critical. If you talk to every successful person, they always paid someone to level them up faster than what they could out of their own head thoughts and books and limiting beliefs and patterns. Always. I have everyone I like. I think I remember my dad even told me a story when he was first selling insurance, and I'll get him on our 5 steps, and I'll get him to jump in one of our calls in the next couple of weeks when he's back. But he talked
so,
about how when a guy who actually I know really well, and he's instantly helped me many years later. But when my dad was selling, he was doing like, I don't know, he would often do like 100 sales in a week. It's incredible what he did. Anyway, this guy that came on board, a young fella from Sydney, his name's Mark. He said, my dad told me the story where he went up to my dad and said, "Listen, Lloyd, I'll pay you 20,000. This is in the 80s. I'll pay you $20,000 for me to follow you around for a day or a few days or something." And Dad's like, "Oh, okay, done." So, and he did that, and he taught him stuff, and this fellow went out and he's made millions out of that, millions. And if you think about it, that's probably worth 60,000, 70,000 as an offer now in terms of the monetary value of what that would look like. But that's how powerful it is, and that's available to people, but they're not doing it. It's like the new form of education. They're too fixated on doing a $40,000 business degree at uni or some uni degree, and it leads them nowhere.
yeah, yeah,
You know?
and they don't get any real world experience from that. It's not they're not in the trenches like it's just like, yeah, I mean, it's ego too. It's ego of, you know, these people are doing these things and we think we have to invent. Even myself, like my calendar and scheduling system. Like I was trying to reinvent the wheel. I've been doing all these different things, and it's like, no. Like, just do what's been done and what's been suggested, and do it long enough so that it becomes what you do. And stop making excuses as to why you shouldn't do it, you can't do it, like why it's too hard. It's just simple things like that. Like, even it's getting out of your own way, as I said earlier, like, and understanding that you don't have to invent everything. Like, you don't have to be responsible for everything. Like,
so what you're saying is there's already a beaten path, there's a proven path, and all you have to do is actually walk down it.
Yeah. And that sounds, it's like it just in the first instance for people it's like, oh, it's just too easy. It's like, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's like,
hey, we all get blocked, we all get stuck, you know, and it's getting unstuck fast and learning that you can achieve a lot more in a shorter amount of time if you have the cheat codes laid out in front of you. And I don't think people are buying the cheat codes, man. It's crazy, right? So anyway, man, I just am excited for you. It's just so good. You've just done everything great, and you're a testament. You're a real good example of what happens when you have a proven step-by-step process that you follow and you're coachable on and you enjoy and you show up to. And it's just great to see you grow. And I'm scared about what you're going to create. It's just going to be crazy fast and big, and it's going to be awesome. So thanks for jumping on, mate, and sharing that with us. I appreciate it. It's awesome.
Awesome. No, thanks, mate. Great. Appreciate it. All good.
All right. You go be a millionaire now, mate, and I'll talk to you soon.
Cheers, mate. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.